while we work through a couple of stream delays there, but we are back and still more or less on time thanks to the shellacking in Game 1. I'm AJS0 and I'm here with Mr. Hook Resets going into Game 2 here. Again, Chad, if you could just let me know how we sound volume-wise compared to each other, but besides that, Cal, how's it going?
It's going great. I was a little bit in a rush, so I'm having some other side IRL stuff, but I'm so excited to cast. I haven't casted in quite a long time. I think the last thing I might have casted was like 2 Charity League Overwatch League ago or
Jesus
something.
Christ, man. For a guy who's casted a lot, if you go through the VODs over the years across a lot of different games, I'm surprised it's been so long. Well,
yeah,
it's you've been too busy playing in recent seasons.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I missed out 2 seasons, but hey, next season will be my season, I swear, guys. As long as you don't, if people promise not to bid me over like $7, you know, I'll play. That's all I ask, I swear.
There you go. Clip it, send it back to the man in about 10 months. But,
Yep.
Before we get there, we got to go through this game where we have the free-falling Wormbound Crusaders going up against Big Dirk Energy. 0-4 going up against 3-0. A absolutely massive game for the Wormbound Crusaders, who are not mathematically eliminated if they lose this game. But if you are down 0-5, it's really hard to foresee a path forward where you make it into the top 3.
Yeah, and funny enough, if you look at the Wormbound Crusaders, just from the beginning of the season, I would say it was the biggest gambit of the entire draft, was Cruz drafting all of Thunder's friends, plus NT, and seeing what they could do. But now they've made a huge switch up, putting Phoenix Blaze into the jungle. I've heard there might be some better, like, communication. I've heard Phoenix is actually a really good calmer when he plays jungle. So I'll be interested to see his pathing, see how he plays around the rest of the team, and mainly that, honestly, is they're gonna need a big win here. It's not an easy opponent to start him off with.
No, and like we said, it's a lot of pressure, and I think the thing that's rough for Wormbound Crusaders, who like you said, Cruz made a big gamble in the draft, going for all of the unknown quantities that knew each other and hoping for the best. And honestly, that's a strategy that across the the 11-year history of the SBL, I would say it's probably worked more often than not, but has not quite been so fortunate this season. This team, it's rough because there are good things in every single game they play. They're not some terrible team that has been completely unable to show life at any point. They just can't team fight at all.
They cannot team fight, and a lot of that comes from shot calling, I would say, more than...
Yeah, they have. I would have to assume their shot calling in fights has been rough. So we'll see here, like you said, the rumor going around from in the trenches. Obviously, you know Tuesday rather well. Sounds like the comms have been a little bit better. So 0-1 in the Phoenix era. We'll see if they can turn that into a 1-1 because they are going up against a team that is 3-0. But like I've said, that we've seen signs of life out of every game from Wormbound Crusaders. Nothing about the way that Big Dirk Energy is playing makes me think this team is a juggernaut. They might be the best team in the league, but they're sure as hell not unbeatable.
Oh, no, definitely not. The games have been very close. And a lot of times, a lot of throws back and forth, even in their wins. Curious, that's what we most want to see from them, is just a clean game where they execute and they just don't give up a lot of random objectives. Don't, just stop running it down a tiny bit. But it's an overall pretty much guarantee that they have the best late game, I feel, than any other team.
Yeah, that is definitely something we've seen in some of these games, is they've really fought their way out of some wild situations. And it's not shocking when you've got, Tree and Respect and Renai Circulation, especially Respect and Renai is your late game carry players. A team that really, the only thing that makes me clench up is watching the stupid things they do in the early game sometimes and the holes they have to dig themselves out of. So,
yep. But I will say that if there's a team comp that isn't going to be good late game, that's Jin Pantheon. And they're drafting Jin Pantheon into Maokai, Poppy, Trundle. If there's not an unkillable line that's going to be very hard if Jin Pantheon don't just snowball hard, it's this one. And I do like the drafting because of that. Someone mentioned, I believe last week, that after they blind pick Jin against my drafted team, our team should have just gone like a bunch of tanks, and I kind of agree. Jin, not known as a tank killer. Um,
If I go through my game by game notes, which aren't super thorough, especially because I've been casting a lot of the time, but a pretty consistent note I have on these big dark energy games is like, wow, they just can't draft. Um, which is, only the fourth game here, but really starting to look like a pretty recurring thing. We'll see. There's still a chance Renai could close this out with something big in the mid lane. As I was just gonna say, this might be the time for the Vel'Koz to say like, fuck it, put
Wow.
all of the chips on the damage, and Renai's gonna go for all reliable. Not the most traditional team you would see a Vel'Koz on, but I don't think that Renai cares.
This is the first time though I think we've seen his Volkaz. He's been playing a lot of non blab standard stuff. Oh, they ended up taking the karma away from him. So this is what he says. He says, "Okay, you pick tanks, I'll kill tanks," and we'll see. Maybe Blab's wisened up his champ pool a little bit more to what the enemy team is playing instead of just going like, "I'll pick Volkaz Orion every game."
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. You are right. This is his first game this season. Something that it's not like he picks it. It's not like this isn't like the 2016 SBL where all the one trickers pick their one trick every time it's open. We're not quite that kind of league anymore. And it's something that he doesn't play every time it's open, but he picks it a few times a season, scares people, and makes you think about it. So definitely the player I'm most going to have my eyes on as we head into this game.
Mm-hmm. Something else I'll be curious about is this volley bear because he did get buffs decently sizable, I'm pretty sure, to his ultimate, where it's 1 second less off the turning off of towers, but I think the cooldown went down by like 20 seconds or something at all levels, so it's pretty nice. We'll have to see how they pilot that, but just in general, the lane that I'm most worried about, I would definitely say has to be this bot lane because this is this is a time where the Maokai nerfs may finally show themselves. Where he lost like 3 or 4 armor, he's still top of the support win rates. By the way, like that's not changing. But if there's a lane that's gonna kill him, it'd be Jin Pantheon. So we'll see if they can do that. Just that, really.
And what a wild season of the SBL so far. Just looking at these bands and how different this looks than some past
Oh.
seasons.
Yeah. I think one of the bigger surprises is the willingness for the SPL players to actually pick up the new stuff like the Hui, the Smolder. I feel a lot of other seasons people would just say screw it and just go with old reliables a lot more often. But I think this season is very different in that sense. A lot more stretching out your champ pools. I mean, I say that as Thunder's on Poppy, but you know.
Well, and I think it shows compared to when we first came back, 2021, the comeback season of the SBL. Um, I feel like the needle has slowly moved season by season towards the teams are populated full of people actively playing the game again, which was not the case in that comeback season. Where it was like a bunch of people had started playing League 3 months before that season happened at most. And I think that's why we're seeing some more flexibility in these champion pools, seeing more of the meta stuff coming through. Is there are a lot of people actively playing solo queue, a lot of people actively playing together, not just in the last month and a half, but for a solid amount of the year. A lot of people who will say they think they're playing some of their best League of Legends right now. So definitely has made the gameplay very exciting this season because we've really seen good bits and pieces from really every single team in the league.
And something else I wanted to point out, just in terms of how much people are playing, the team that's probably playing the most is the team that's 0-4 right now, which is nuts to say. As usually, I think a lot of the times when teams have had the time to practice as much as this team would have, everything would just kind of click. On the teams that I've had where I've been the most successful, I would say generally has been when everyone's just happens to be more free like that. It's just a scheduling thing, but like it is surprising to say the least that they haven't been as strong. I just loaded in the game, by the way.
Yeah, I am in. Yeah, I'm speeding up as well. Wow, this seems to be the thing this week is that it loads us in as we just come out of the pause right as Phoenix Blaze gets CC'd. I didn't think there was a chance in hell. I'm so sorry, Twitch chat. The thing League is doing this week is jumping us in a few seconds after the game starts, but all is well that ends well. Phoenix Blaze is going to flash, get out of that one. Is now Dolphy is playing with a little bit of fire here. Gonna see some Vel'Koz damage coming through. That is gonna be a slow. Thunder gonna do body deterrence, and we are in. Cal 105, 106, 107 on the scoreboard, and now I think I can finally start dragging and rearranging here.
I do want to say Phoenix Blaze had to start E, which I'm not a Trundle player. I know that's not right though, and that's gonna be making his clear speed a lot slower. I'm fairly certain you want to go W and Q, so. I don't know how much that will matter, but you know, something small to note.
An eye on that's first clear for Phoenix, and then obviously on the very first gank, that's going to give really, especially in the top lane, I'd say, probably Bad Boy, aka Dan, the person to keep an eye on here, where he's not running a teleport right now, and now he knows he's not going to have to worry about a Trundle having a flash to close on him. Can play a little more aggressively early on if he feels like he needs to, and you can see he's playing forward up there on the first set of creeps here.
Ooh. Something to note, Red side has 0 TPs. I feel like this really accentuates that they're not playing for late game at all, they're just trying to snowball.
Yeah, you know, Dan would do that, so it is what it is. You take the Dan with the Dan when you're playing against this team. As good footwork there from Tuesday. I thought for sure he was gonna get stunned.
Thankfully, into a little bit more versed than some other.
Than me? Yes, I'm aware, Cal. You don't. You can say the quiet part out
loud. No. I'm saying bot lanes in the SBL in general have a problem of standing a little too close to the Pantheon Jhin lane.
As a long-time AD carry player, it hurts me week after week. That's the beauty of the SBL.
It is. It really is. You don't get other matches like this.
Yeah, Thunder's going to get chunked out here, nearly going to get killed. I think he's going to have to recall. He's got to be so careful here. Dan could flash and kill him with like, oh man.
Oh yeah.
But he wants to greed because this is such a fat wave. Gets a big heal and a shield there off that cannon. That might be enough to let him sustain this one out under his tower before a recall. But I think directed camera may have to. I'm going to just watch top for a second here. Thunder, oh, nice stun. But he's not getting a lot of these creeps right now in the early aggression from the Bad Boy. Gonna do some damage. Now we got jungle combat going on here. Mid lane's roaming over. I think they're gonna secure Phoenix his blue buff, and everyone's gonna just walk out of this one.
Yeah, like you said though, a lot of CS missed from Thunder there. It isn't gonna. Thankfully, he's playing Poppy. If there was a champion that you are okay with being down CS, it's probably Poppy. But
yeah, it ends up only being down 6 as well. So as we may have our first pause of the night, as NT cannot move, so we'll give Tuesday and the Misters a seconds to sort out what's going on here. A little chance to break down.
Pause and then freeze.
Oh yeah, because chat just catches back. Oh yes, I did. Sorry. League of Legends, baby.
Yeah, the league's been having client issues all day. I heard that matchmaking was just not starting at all and then kicking people out earlier from Reddit. I'm moving again.
Yeah, I'm at 54, 55, 56. Yep. All right.
We're perfect.
All is well that ends well.
Yep. Hopefully NT can start moving a little bit, and he looks okay, though.
Yeah, he does. So we'll see here what this is going to mean is, oh my god, so many people have been in low health in these laning phases.
Yeah. Thankfully, Dolphy has that TP, gonna be able to just come back pretty fine. Maybe some action top lane, though. As both junglers are residing.
Phoenix Blaze
counter gank?
Dropping the Troll Town here, right into 30 space. Beautiful knock up there from Thunder. This Phoenix Blaze is taking a ton of creep damage in the middle of this. I think everyone's going to just walk out of this one. Is there a turn here?
A flash?
I'm going to play it slow and steady. Wins the race here. He feels like he's lapping the field in top lane. as we're going to see something I've never seen before. Mr. CS doesn't matter. Winning on CS.
Winning pretty hard. Yep, it's been going well for the Darius, as a little bit expected, but as he should be, I should say. But might be big, because a lot of people would say that Thunder is the best player on the team, if not the second best. So him being down means he's dead.
Oh no! Because he's the best player on the team! He's going to outplay the bad boy, putting the bad in his name! Oh, what a disaster class from Just Dan.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible, unfortunately.
That's what he gets for going up CS, right? It's like he taunted God, and God was like, hey, remember what you are.
And you are someone who team fights and goes down in CS. You do not get the kills.
Yeah, that's tough, buddy, and that should give good wave state for Thunder, who I think left a freeze on his side of the map there and used his teleport to get back. Dan obviously walking his little Darius butt back to lane. But we do see early Void Grubs going the way of the crew. Of the BDE here, as Tree maybe a little far out here. Some damage starting to come down. A nice E is not going to do a whole lot here. Respect going to try to do something. Can't do a thing. And Civvy Beard on the Maokai. Oh man, didn't want to risk the flash.
Really nice gank from Phoenix Blaze, just catching Tree a little unaware as he refused to flash over the pillar and he dies for it.
Yeah, shoutouts to 30, by the way, is doing a little bit of counter jungling right now, taking advantage of Phoenix showing in the bot side to go to a little bit of denial, so we'll see if that turns into much.
Something I will note about this this team is even when they've had advantages bot side, or they get kills or anything, they don't do dragon. I would have loved to see a dragon angle there while Tree's gone. He's only level 4, so he won't be ulting in. But instead, they're just going to play it safe, and it might end up costing them as 30 able to get the other objective.
Yeah, that showed maybe, kind of equal parts the jungle and experience. Phoenix, I don't know how often he plays jungle compared to the other roles. Obviously, he's pretty much always played mid in the SBL, as well as the shot calling that we talked about for WPC earlier, just not quite being there. Unfortunate, but we'll see if it matters at all.
Yeah. I was talking to Tree a little bit about Civvy Beard, and Tree felt like Civvy was someone who tended to get out of position a lot, a little bit easier to kill. But I say that, Tree's the one out of position right now, as we're doing some Maokai things, getting some good trades. But in general, a lot of attention needs to be put on Civvy Beard in a lot of these games, because I think he is a very aggressive player. He'll tend to go in, but I don't think he knows his limits and his ADC's limits as well as you could hope.
See here, so he's going in again. They are getting some nice damage to stick on a tree, but this could be the turn. Can they burn the Maokai? Civvy Beard walking out of this one. Will Respect get cooldowns here? Got to be a flash for a flash, and now the ult is coming out here, but Tree is going to fall to Xayah in the midst of this, and now Tuesday body blocking, keeping his support alive. Great play there from Mr. Tuesday, who heard your comments about best player on the team and said, my ass.
Oh yeah. You'll love to see it if you're an NT Bama fan, as he goes in and gets that flash, the E flash, and just absolutely shreds Tree's health. He was not expecting that.
Yeah, we have not had a chance to comment on this yet, but a massacre going on in the mid lane right now is Blaboor is running train on Dolphy's Karma. We've got a 700 gold lead roughly in the mid lane off CS alone. Belkaz, I mean, that's about as bad as you will ever see in an SBL matchup.
Yeah, looking tough for Karma, who might be feeling a little bit outranged. Generally known as more of a bully, so it's
skill gap.
Can't be easy. Yes, a little bit of skill gap, might be a Blab knowledge gap. He plays Karma, he knows limits. Oh, well done to Blab, as not generally known for his aggression, but gets the CS done.
Belkaz one trick is back to one tricking, I guess.
Yep. Looks like it Maybe he decided he was a little bored of just winning the normal way, or the weird way. Winning the normal way sounds better, right? I don't know. Something I did want to point out, the dragon ends up going down literally right after Tree dies.
We do have a lot of bodies showing up in this fight. I think everyone's going to walk out of this one, especially as Thunder's going to hit the sight cone over the team there.
This is a big fight that might end up coming down for the Void Grubs, because 30 already got most of them right before, but Civibeard having ult might be a huge change for how this ends up going.
So Civibeard going to be a very defensive ult here to zone a lot of the team away from this one, and now a knock back onto Pantheon, who could just ult his way back in here. What will happen? A very split fight going on. Civibeard going to give the kill to himself there. 30 is down, and now we do see the team kind of coming together here, but Dan putting a lot of pressure on this top flank. I don't know why, though. You're not pressuring shit. You're keeping yourself alive. Are you kidding me? He's a bad man. He's pulling 2 people away from this team fight before finally going down, and he may have run enough interference to... Did he stop this? No, he didn't.
No.
He just died.
He
blew
delayed
both the
it.
summoners in this process, and that was actually a bad play. It's unfortunate.
He did delay it a little bit, but his team not able to go it through as John trying to flex his muscles a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see here. Good ult's going to come out from Tuesday, but can the aim come through? Big pressure shot, and he's going to get it. Snipes it away before his support can come and manufacture any assist gold.
Yeah, as a true carry does. He wants that solo kill gold, solo kill XP.
Yeah, I can relate to that. So, gonna put Big Dirk Energy on the board here, who, despite Renai's best efforts, are down a bit of gold in this one early on.
And we're gonna be getting a nice chunk of gold, actually. Probably 2 or 3 tower plates just here alone.
Yeah, that's going to be nice. We look at the individual gold. 400 is the gold lead for Resquect. Oh my god, Civibeard. I guess makes sense. He has the 2 kills. Civibeard's up a ton of gold on Tree right now. Obviously, we don't normally focus too much on the support leads and deficits, but that's really the most substantial one on the map currently.
It is a big reason for their almost 1,000 gold lead right now. Not bad from Phoenix Blaze with that kill and assist either. A little bit ahead. Oh, are we gonna face check? No, we're not going to.
Patient as a tree.
And now my eyes are gonna be a little bit on Tree with those Moby boots, seeing if he can impact the rest of the map a little bit harder. If we're just gonna go back to like the old 2v2 lane.
Fight in the top lane. Oh, Phoenix Blaze. Jeez, I didn't even catch that breaking down the jungle. But that's going to be an easy kill for 30. A flash out for Dolphy. Can they close in on him? I think he is going to get flashed on. And that may be what they need. Double kill for 30 caliber.
Yeah. He heard me saying Phoenix Blaze a little bit ahead in gold, and he's like, nope. It's my gold now. A very nice flash. Good aggression is 30 making his presence known.
Yeah, going to open a lot of pressure in this mid lane. They're going to 4-plate it here. I don't think they're going to take the tower. There is a watch collapse coming from 3 angles here. So will this team overstay their welcome? Thunder's going in, going to stop the movement from anybody. But he's going to lose his flash in the process. Not quite his life, but a big ult coming out of Civibeard. Going to give a kill over to Phoenix Blaze. Can they continue? Civibeard playing this nice fun forward, but everyone else should be able to walk away. But a nice pick there set up by the Maokai.
Yeah, and that's why everyone loves this Maokai right now. The ult, so insane, so much distance, so much, like, you can't run away from it. I remember when his ult first got changed, it was so slow you could literally just walk away and be fine. You can't do that anymore. It will catch you. You will not like it.
And with that, gold dead even between the 2 teams now as we head towards this second dragon fight. Bodies from both teams showing up here is a flash forward out of Maokai. I don't know if he wanted to do that, and he's going to lose his life in embarrassing fashion. Vel'Koz with his first of the game. Now the snare onto Phoenix Blaze, and this is looking really good for Big Dirk Energy here is they're going to try to force the team back here. They should be able to turn the Dragon. Respect may have gone a little too far forward. A slam and a bam. Going to lose his life. Some nice play here from Thunder. Do they have the damage to make this count, though? Tuesday. Watch Tuesday autoing away. Going to get the kill, the damage. And it is a 1 for 2, I think, in favor of the Crusaders. But I don't know if anyone can do Dragon out of this. Watch for Renai. Still has an ult available. Still has a flash if he needs it. I think it's going to be a lot of posturing and no one's going to commit.
Yeah. With that Maokai kill, it does end up being a 2 for 2, but that shutdown for Mr. Tuesday is huge. Very huge. And much needed gold for him as he will push ahead in the gold lead and I don't know, we'll get some more items.
So again, it's going to keep gold pretty even here for a moment here as the first tower of the game is going to go down. It's going to be this mid lane here on the blue side, so that will open the map up quite a bit. We'll see what Big Dirk Energy can do with this.
All eyes are going to be on this dragon fight though, as Dolphy almost has the teleport back up, so could end up making it a 5v4 situation, assuming he doesn't just, you know, die.
Solo kill Bad Boy and set up a huge advantage for his team.
Oh, exactly.
Guy with no teleport.
That's what I was saying. Of course.
Yes, we'll see here. It is BDE first to the river here. They have the control. What will they set up? Remember, Karma can match down there with teleport.
Yeah. I imagine right now they're just telling Bad Boy, you need to stay there to like at least get something if we have to leave if they teleport in.
Yeah, and I think WBC should just go for this 5v4. That is a pretty far away teleport, but that should be a free pit, although I think Dan should be in position to just trade this for the top tower. I think you just commit to the trade here. Maybe Renai goes and tries to cause a little happy chaos in there, but not going to happen. Phoenix Blaze secures the Dragon, and those are 1 apiece, and they will not get the top tower, as we do see a teleport coming out of Thunder back to his home lane. And he may want more than just that. Gonna get the auto for the slow, forces the ghost out of Bad Boy.
Yeah, I mean, Bad Boy was like, no, I don't want any of that. I'm not dying a third time here. he gets that cut up down. The ghost, pretty short cooldown, so not gonna be the worst, but at least his team in the end, they should be getting this. Unless Thunder snoops it out, he has ult and can knock someone away.
So Respect is going to get engaged on a lot of damage going on to Jin City here. Respect going to be burning, flashed on, loses his life.
Yeah,
it's going to be a rift for Phoenix as well.
The greed is punished. And if you remember what I said about this team wanting to snowball and get ahead, it's mid-game. They're not ahead. This is terrible. This is really, really terrible for their team comp.
Yeah, absolutely. If WBC are going to get their first win, doing this against the team with no teleport feels like a good way to get that ball rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to see how the Crusaders are going to throw it.
Very well could be. I believe they had a pretty not great late game team comp that they did a similar thing not that long ago, so we'll have to see. Right now though, I worry because a lot of the gold especially is on this Poppy, is on this Trundle. But they're going to be extremely hard for this Jhin to shut down, so the onus will be on Blab really. Just try to destroy all their health. What I want to see specifically is either a Trundle pillar or a Poppy ult always for that Vel'Koz ult. We'll have to see if they can be annoying enough to do that, or if they're going to be a little bit trigger happy and just throw it out early.
So a lot of posturing. I'm not sure either of these teams really have much they want to commit to. Yeah, Yomu is forced out of Respect. I guess that's something.
Something. We'll take the cooldown. It's already almost a quarter of the way back up, but hey.
I got a feeling it might be a minute till we actually see something break out here, just with the way all the bodies are posturing around. I'm gonna commit to that. Cal, I'm gonna do something. I'm not gonna do something because we see the stun coming forward. Beard's gonna take that opportunity to go forward, and that's gonna draw more bodies to the fray. Tree and Maokai both going to go down. Supportal combat ends in a null. 30 the second to lose his life. Phoenix plays with his 4th. And I don't think Thunder dies here. Cal, I need to go grab something to drink. Take it over.
Okay, no problem. As we're gonna see an ult coming out from Xayah. She's a little bit worried of getting fourth shot there from John, but it works out, and they'll get the first tower of the game. And no deaths other than those two, but in general, pretty good. I'd always trade the support for 2, so we'll take that if we're the Wormbound Crusaders.
Right you are, Cal.
Right I am, as we'll see if SBL Bad Boy able to take this top lane tower. Thunder does not want it to happen though, and he's posturing toward the walls. He's like, if you're gonna come in, you're gonna get stunned.
So I'm happy to see no one died while I was AFK.
No more dies. They only took the mid tower.
I didn't have to limp very far. I was confident I could make it back.
That's huge.
And that really sets us up for the posturing here, as both these junglers are showing up in the bot lane, and we can maybe get a fight. Come on, Phoenix. Face check the river. Do it. Not gonna do it. Gonna do the smart play. Meanwhile, the top lane Bad Boy gonna take the tower. They're back into that kind of stall state here.
Yeah, just some clearing out some vision. Almost
Cal,
my favorite play.
I need to ask a question. You're a League of Legends semi-professional. Does the Baron pit change based on which dragon it is?
So I don't believe it's based on the dragon. I haven't actually looked into it that much because that's a very new change. However,
I just thought they changed the pit permanently, and then like last game I was casting and I realized it was the old pit, and now I realize I've seen like quite a few different pits. So
no, there's three different ones, and it just swaps per game. I'm pretty sure. There's
and it's not correlated to anything else on the map.
As far as I know, no.
Okay. Hey.
Twitch chat can correct me.
Yeah, no, Twitch chat's corroborating. So it's just 3 different Barons. They have their own mechanics. And Dolphy gonna have no HP after this one gets caught out. Now a chance for the top seed to move this one forward. Maokai flashing. Doesn't gonna have a chance of running away from this 130. He's gonna get the CC there. And gets the knock away. Knock on him, man. Renai circulation with his 3rd.
Oh yeah, and that's huge setup. Very smart from 30 to hang out there. Dolphy a little bit greedy pathing, starting that off. The rest of the team trying to support him, but kind of making it hard as Thunder maybe trying to make it to SBL Bad Boy chasing towards Mr. Tuesday, and looks like they'll at least get the summoners. Probably nothing else though.
Yeah, the Bad Boy is a man that's gonna take the bait. He does draw Tree's ult, which is actually a pretty long cooldown. So that's actually a pretty decent play there. Less so if they lose bot lane at the same time.
Yep.
Which they did, to be clear, chat.
if no one noticed, they did lose it, but you know.
And this game still stays pretty even. So look at player gold again here. You can see starting to see some leads. Oh my god. Renai circulation. The man of the game right now with the 2,300 gold lead in the mid lane. Very impressive stuff against somebody like Karma that, like we were saying earlier, should be pretty bully resistant, but Renai has really been kind of flawless at every level in this game thus far.
Yeah, he's having a great game, having a great season, and just continuing to apply that at just huge pressure.
And that's what you'd expect to see out of the best mid laner in the league. But now with Tuesday going to be in a little bit of pressure here. Ults defensively. He's actually laying some decent damage in a Bad Boy, but that sure as hell ain't going to matter. But on the other side, Tree here coming in as this supportal cannot do anything in any of these fights. Tree losing his life 30 as well, and this is going to be a great chance to move forward here. It turned out Xayah may have just been the bait here. Can they get these executes under the tower, or are they just buying time? Renai! I wasn't watching my mini-map at all!
Yeah, I was not either, and then just suddenly I see all the Vel'Koz abilities coming out at once. He gets more kills for himself now. 5-0-3. This Octopus, so scary. Oh no, that's terrible. What you see is that was the play they were trying to start as well. I mean, Civibeard and Thunder, I believe, were hiding in the tower, looking to tower dive Bad Boy, but as soon as Thunder just gets its as soon as Mr. Tuesday gets collapsed on, it's just very tough fight. Dolphy's TP, I believe, was only a couple seconds from actually coming online, so he's not able to join either.
Yeah, just bit off a little bit more than they could chew there with trying to attempt that kind of long tower dive on the low health members, and that is kind of the state of this team. You know, there's good ideas but it's never holistic for them. There's always got to be a catch.
Yep. And what I want everyone to know is, meanwhile, while Blab is 5-0, oh, we're just looking for fights.
Yeah, Tree gonna get a stun on the Civi Beard face, checking who's buying some time. Is not going to make it down to this Tower's corpse. And Respect is going to somehow luck his way into a second kill of the game. He's gonna pop the ults onto Tuesday. Aggressive choice there.
Yeah, he does
zoning
land his
ults.
shots. Yeah, gets him about half health. Doesn't matter too much.
This is pretty big here for BDE, though, because this does give them pressure in all 3 lanes currently. And when you're playing without teleport, you really need to hit this state at some point where you just have the pressure going. And so what can they accomplish with it? Currently, it looks like Bad Boy's going to lose duels. Oh, it's going to be close! Oh, he's not going to lose shit! You fucking idiot, Swift! Bad Boy gets the kill, and now Renai, a couple of ticks of the ult, going to shred a lot of health. But maybe he has been off more than he can chew, or maybe he's going to just walk his way out of this one while his team takes the turret. And this has been a great few minutes for BDE.
Oh no, it's just disaster after disaster. Phoenix Blaze decides to take the stat stick fight, but does not win it. He's got so much damage, but so few resistances, Darius just able to shred through him. I think that if Phoenix actually was moving around while auto-attacking a little bit better, he wouldn't have gotten hit by the Darius heal, and maybe could have won that. But in general, just felt he was strong enough and just proven wrong. They're just losing bot tower, they're losing his life, and now they're losing positioning for Dragon.
Yeah, now they're really in stall territory here. They need to stop the bleeding a bit. Be careful with where they take their fights. I almost think they might want to give this Dragon up, let them get to 3 and not fight them until you can get a little further along here. This could be the bait, but a very high pressure fight. You know it's a real fight because even I'm just Dan coming down towards the Dragon Pit right now. Got 20 seconds on the Dragon respawn.
The one thing to note is neither John, Respect, nor Blab. Neither of those two have flashes. So if Civibeard can get a nice flash W engaged, like it kind of looks like he's looking to, like
He's
that
so
could have been
squishy.
Yeah.
Respect's gonna just pop a nice zoning all here. We do see the Darius on the flank as well, setting up a lot of pressure for his team. And now the blue side, they have fallen so far back here. Are they going to commit to this fight? Dragon going down kind of slowly, but that sets him up right where Renai wants him. And Darius, he wants to go in. A beautiful knockout. Thunder going to save his own life, but that was a waste of time and effort, and that's going to be a 3rd Dragon for BDE.
Yeah, is setting them up for Soul Point, and meanwhile, blue side getting 0 kills, 0 pressure on the map. So red side's just like, you know what? We can just look towards Baron. Why not? Take it. Take everything.
Well, they're so good when they get the control of the river. I mean, pushing into Belkaz Jin, it's, you know, essentially impossible. You're going to get locked up so hard, especially when the team's playing with some confidence. Let's look at gold right now. They could probably afford to stay here and keep this pressure alive if they wanted to, but looking like they're going to opt for a reset of spends. They're not in any rush here. They can play for the Dragon Soul.
As soon as I saw Risquicked back, I'm like, these guys better be running. But they did fine. They're not making any mistakes here. They're trying to run down Bad Boy.
Yeah, he's
Get
gonna
his flash again.
Good on him to flash very early and not risk blowing anything there.
Yeah, just runs away. But hey, as long as it works out, we're probably going to be going down to a little bit of a calmer game state, I imagine. Just have to consider, how will blue side come back from here? They're 4k down. It's looking very painful. A giant Blab on the Vel'Koz in their way towards crawling back into the lead right now. Let's see if they can find a fight.
You see, Respect's gonna have very aggressively flash out of that one. He's trying to get closer to his team. Gonna buy some space for Tree and 30 to close some gaps here as we have a potential 5v3, and this has to be the fight that the Crusaders can win, right? They are not getting a lot of damage to stick. The knockouts are going in a 3v5. You've got to be kidding me. It's going to go the way of Big Dirk Energy. They're chasing down Semi, who has nowhere to go but in. They will claim a tower in the middle of all this. But that has just bought time for the scary laser to make his way here towards the top lane. Thunder is not very tanky or very alive. 7-0 on Renai. A snare onto the mid laner. And another disaster class of a team fight from the Wormbound Crusaders. 3 for 0, 4 for 0, because of course the bad boy is going to kill you under your tower. You're going to lose Baron, you're going to lose an inhibitor, you're going to lose your chance at a win, you're going to lose your will to live, and you're probably going to lose your chance to make the playoffs this SBL. Could it get any worse than that?
Oh, it definitely cannot, as gonna be trying to cut some losses here, try to fight Bad Boy, but he has a level 16 ult if they're not careful.
He's got 6 levels on Civibeard. Yeah, he should just turn and fight.
Yeah, I think he should just be killing Civi, but maybe not, as he's got the passive, he's got the bleed. It's death. It's just death. It's done. Phoenix knew he had to run at this point, but he can't stick around. He needs just leave. Just leave. Run.
Yeah, he's getting pantsed right now on a public stream. He doesn't even know where to go. Oh man, this is like snuff videos.
Yeah, he's so gone. Everyone collapsing, just making sure he has nowhere to go, and it's just in the end, that was about 6 kills for 0. for all that trouble, and that's just not great. Not great at all. They're gonna be leaving up a free Baron if they want it. They can take literally whatever they want.
So this is a great opportunity for me to pitch one of my SBL improvements that when I take the commissionership back by force, I intend to implement, which is the halfway through the season opportunity for the worst team in the league to add a player. And so I think the way that we fix the Wormbound Crusaders, we need to get a legendary shot caller who has the ability to add some stabilization and some strategy into these games. Somebody who's not currently playing in the SBL, but maybe people would like to see in the SBL. And so I'm thinking we take this team, and with all due respect, we're going to replace you know which one with Faker.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that would probably help out a good amount, I imagine.
And I think at that point, this team could go 2-2 over the back half of the season and have a chance to win a round in the playoffs.
Me too, honestly. I could see it very well. Faker, possibly a pretty good player to replace any player in the league with.
I mean, he's never won an SBL.
True. He might be able to add that to his trophies. I don't know if we really want him as... there's better players, right? Like, somewhere. Surely. There are other support mains or something that have a little bit more experience.
Faker would kind of suck in the SBL because I think he would actually try really hard to help his teammates learn how to play better and improve and actually win the games. We need to get somebody more toxic,
True.
Oh god, what was that? The LCS jungler. Okay, I'm digressing. We got Civibeard ulting across the team here, zoning everyone away with his health here. Gonna buy a chance for his team to come in, and actually Tuesday is going to secure the dragon, but what is the cost? A one for none so far here. As this is looking maybe decent tree coming across the back line, as we do have some good zoning from Phoenix. Gonna buy some time. It is a 2-for-1. Can Big Jerk Energy close out on this one? Dolphy trying to lay down some CC. 30 is a squishy little bear. 30's gonna lose his life, and Resquact all with just the sliverest of health. By the way, Dan is hammering on Nexus turrets, and no one's recalling in that game.
Yeah,
Dolphy has a teleport. I don't know if he's got a chance. No, he does not. And that is what an ending of a game. And the Wormbound Crusaders' misery continues.
Yeah, Civibeard gonna, throw his life maybe. Well, I mean, Bad Boy, does he want another kill? Let's see. As gets ignited, does lose quite a bit of his health, but Blab says, you know what, I'll pitch in a little bit, I'll take it.
12, 0, and 6 from Renai circulation. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just a really showing from Blab saying, guys, I still play Vel'Koz. If anyone's curious, if you... it's kind of their ace in the sleeve if they are picking this Jhin lane, having something that can shred tanks really well. Also to note though, there was a distinct lack of MR on any of the tanks.
Yeah, that was a thing I didn't get a chance to comment on that was just so like appalling watching these team fights. It's like it's not 10 minutes. Like at some point you gotta build for the one concerning source of damage on the opposing team. But the late game woes continue in horrific fashion for the Crusaders, and meanwhile, Big Dirk Energy stumble their way into another undefeated streak here, 4-0. Going to keep sole possession of that top seed a little bit longer. What a weird game. They're 4-0, and I'm still not actually that confident they're a good team. But that's the point of the SBL is you don't have to be a good team. You just got to be the team that wins, and they are abso-fucking-lutely that.
It's true. They say that a lot. Just don't be the worst team, and you'll win. I think
Absolutely.
that's it.
All right, so that is going to do it for us, folks. We are going to take a little bit of a break. We got a stream swap coming up in just a couple of minutes here as we set you all up for our third game of the night. Wesifis and the Boulders going up against Briar's Feet Jury. So stay tuned if you want more bad League of Legends. Thank you for sticking with me and my yamming through these two games, and I look forward to seeing you in chat for Game 3.
Bye-bye.